You ever notice how the wildest chapters in American counterculture often overlap in the weirdest ways? Let's talk about Oakland in the late 1960s, where the Black Panthers and the Hells Angels, two groups you'd think couldn't be more different, basically coexisted not just without conflict, but with a kind of mutual respect. Picture this. On one side, you've got the Black Panthers, organized, disciplined, uniformed, sharp as their rhetoric, standing up against a system stacked against them. On the other, the Hells Angels, leather-clad, rowdy, ruling the roads and flipping the bird to authority. But here's the twist. Huey Newton and Sonny Barger, the leaders of these two worlds, actually shared some key traits. Both were fierce about protecting their own, totally uncompromising about their codes of honor, and weren't afraid to look power in the face and say, "Not today." They knew the game cops and feds would play dirty, and sometimes a heads up from the other side could mean the difference between a raid and a narrow escape. Now zoom out. The soundtrack to this whole scene: Sly Stone laying down the funk tower of power, blasting horns, Blue Cheer fuzzing out the amps, Johnny Paycheck's Working Man Blues, and the Grateful Dead and Jefferson Airplane spinning out psychedelic anthems. This was music born from beatnik bars, acid-fueled love-ins, and a youth culture sick of the Vietnam draft, tired of cops roughing up black workers and watching tech and Hollywood slip through their fingers. Hot rod culture and greaser gangs morphed into biker clubs and radical outfits. Doo-wop harmonies turned into the raw howl of revolution. It was a wild stew of street survival and big dreams, kids from Oakland's tough blocks pushing back against a world that seemed rigged. Books poured out of this revolutionary suicide, and Soul on Ice cracked open the mind of the movement, while Blood in My Eye put anger into words. And these twin street pillars didn't just burn out, they echoed. Tupac's mom was a Panther, and you can hear that mix of pride and pain in his music. Metallica and Death Angel, growing up in the Bay, carried that same outsider energy into heavy metal. Even Japan's Flower Travelin' Band, posing naked on motorcycles, took some of that spirit global. In the end, the Panthers and Angels never needed a turf war. They understood they were both fighting for their space in a world that wanted to wipe them out or water them down. Their codes, their swagger, and their music still ripple through everything from protest anthems to the heaviest riffs. Oakland wasn't just a city back then, it was an attitude, a soundtrack, and a warning: underestimate us at your own risk.